All right, guys, here we are for another episode. I can't even remember what number this is now. We've done over 20. I would have thought so, but yeah. So today I did want to discuss um, three locations that I want to pick between all of us that you would like to visit. Obviously, I'm sure you'll have a host of reasons as to why you want to visit those locations. So yeah, any three locations doesn't have to be a top three list, so to speak, but yeah, just three that you can that come to your head. So what I want to do first is obviously we go through the top three, and then we'll obviously go into a bit more detail as to why you chose them. McSweeney, can I have your three first, please?
Yeah, I mean, there's probably no particular order here, but I've just written it in this order. So I've got Brazil as number one,
Yep.
I've got Japan as number two, and Canada as number three.
Okay, sweet. What about you, Tom?
So I've done more cities or locations itself, not countries, but Chongqing number one, and I'll get onto the reasons why. You guys
Where the
probably
hell
don't
is
even
that?
know what it
China?
is. It's in China, but I'll get
Okay.
onto it.
Yeah, yep.
Number two would be like Mongolia or something like that, because
Oh,
it's like a random spacious place. Number three, I didn't have much of a thought of that, to be honest. I'd probably say Australia in general. Yeah, what about you?
So mine are number one, obviously Japan is a big one for me. So Japan is definitely one. Second one, again, not really a city, but Pakistan. Third one is New Zealand. So those are my three. So yeah, let's kick off with your Chinese one that you mentioned. Actually, let's discuss that one first because I haven't got a clue where it is, and that is intriguing me as to why you want to go there.
Mm. So every now and then I go on Facebook, and I don't know what it is on Facebook that I search, but I get a lot of random travelers who travel to random places within the world. So they've gone to like Belize and done like a 4 day hike from a camp and found like a pyramid that hadn't been seen in ages. Other ones were like he's been to Syria for like just 24 hours and see what civil war is like, and then what it was like when he came back and so on and so forth. When the civil war had actually ended. But one of the ones that he'd done was again a random place that not a lot of people know about unless you live within China. But Chongqing is a city in China which is about 30 million people. So I mean, how many people do we have living in London? It's about 8 million, or is it more?
yeah, about that. Yeah,
So I mean, Chinese cities themselves are fucking nuts. They literally have cities they literally have countries population within a city. But this one, it's a metropolis where every single building is a fucking skyscraper. It's more populated than I think the majority of other cities within China itself. There's a really famous square within the city, which all the influencers go there because it's a nice place to go. Obviously, and they want to get all their followers to see it and so on and so forth. But at the top of this, uh, in this square, we've got it almost looks like a government building bang in the middle, or like a townhouse bang in the middle, whatever you want to call it. But if you actually go over to the side, you're on like the 50th floor of a building. It's fucking nuts. Everything is linked on by bridges that look like a nine-year old have made them. So kind of like Lego bricks and all that shit. Um, Constantly hot, so the weather's there. The weather there is nice and glamorous.
Mm.
Um, there's like an old part of the town as well, which you can go and see, which is still like your older Chinese kind of town, obviously. It just seemed like a little bit different. I mean, I always like to do like a city break. I haven't done one in ages, obviously, but done Prague, done Barcelona, done um Paris mainly for work, but you know. But I've done all the city breaks, and this one just seemed that little bit more different. So yeah, thought add it onto my list and then see what happens.
So you said loads of tall buildings and stuff, right? So I'm assuming are they more residential? Or is that more working, like sort of businesses type?
Think a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Probably like the UAE, where they've
Okay.
got like their residential buildings, and then
Mm.
they've got their skyscraper office space buildings.
It's funny because I've never actually heard of the thing. What did you say it was? Cheng
Chongqing, Qing.
Qing.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
Q is pronounced ch, isn't it?
yeah.
Ah, I
Yeah,
see it.
yeah.
Let me
I
see
only
if I
found
know.
out recently because there's someone at work called like Ching Ru or something like that, and I was like saying King Ru. And you know the dress as well that Chinese women wear. It's called a qipao, isn't it?
I know that now. I didn't know that before.
I didn't
It's
know that before either.
QIPAO. Yeah, it's like kind of the one that's like it's like I'm trying to think. It covers. It's like a one-piece dress, and it's like I'm terrible at describing this, but like it has like a stitching that goes kind of diagonally down across the front, and yeah,
Right.
it's like either like
Okay.
really red or blue, or it's like quite a nice, colourful outfit.
Mm.
Yeah, fair enough. You learn something new every day. Didn't
Yeah,
know that.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, again, I've never heard of the city before. Ironically, so it is. Yeah, I can see just from the pictures. Is I can see all these Instagram videos, TikTok videos, and all that stuff. So yeah, clearly a lot of visitors there. Okay, interesting.
Mm.
Okay, well, moving on from similar area in terms of Asia, let's go over to Japan, which obviously me and Simon have both chosen. Now, for me personally, I know I've talked about Japan, especially with you, Simon. Like for me, obviously, the whole food scene, especially, is not obviously number one reason of wanting to go there. Um, Whether you talk from sushi to noodles and all sorts. I mean, I'm a huge sushi fan. I love sushi. I just don't have it that much in the UK because number one, it's so fucking expensive. And unless you're gonna really, spend your money. When I was living back in Ukraine, we'd have sushi like once every couple of weeks, and it was so cheap. Obviously, and they used to do a baked sushi where they sort of have like sort of cheese or something on top, not cheese so to speak, it's more like cream cheese, and they'd like it was hot sushi, basically hot as in warm, and it used to taste so fucking good, and they don't really do that here in the UK. So I definitely do miss that. But just in general, seafood, obviously, I love seafood, obviously. So the food alone, big on there. Obviously, Pokemon, cartoons, all the anime stuff. You know, even gaming. You know, Nintendo obviously originated from there. Did Sony originate from Japan, or was that an American? It was Japanese,
yeah,
wasn't it? Sony, yeah.
yeah. It was, yeah. It is.
So obviously all that side of it as well. Gaming. I see obviously people making vlogs and stuff where they go in to get old game shops and they're saying, oh, you can get it for cheap as chips. You know, there's so much to explore over there. Obviously, those three being the main areas, but yeah, and the fact that they're so advanced when it comes to technology and just various things like the tools, the way they do things. You know, again, you see videos online all the time, and it just fascinates me. They're like living so much more in the future with their things, even like a bullet train. You know, so much to explore for me, which is why I would love to go there one day. Hopefully, within the next couple of years, if possible. Definitely appeals to me. What about you, McSweeney?
Yeah, so I was actually looking this up before I came because I know a few friends that have been to Japan and people at work and etc. But initially, when I associate Japan, I think of gaming. From my
Mhm.
earlier years, we were talking about like Shenmue, my favorite game of all time.
Yeah, yeah.
That represents the country. I know it's a game, but at the same time, it represents like the landscape. It represents culture. Um, Things like dojos and temples, shrines, all that
Yeah.
sort of, I'd love to see all that.
Mm.
My plan, actually, I've thought of a plan just kind of off the cuff before we came on.
Yeah.
Fly to Tokyo. You then have because that's it's saying it's a vibrant capital offering Shibuya Crossing, and you've got the Meiju Jingu Shrine.
Mm.
You've then got on the way on the bullet train. Oh, by the way, do you know what the bullet train's called?
Bullet Train. I don't know. I don't know the Japanese
I
name.
found
No.
out the exact name of it because it's a blue line that goes for the country. Like that's definitely a bullet train. And my colleague Nick's done it as well. It's called Tokaido Shinkansen. So
Okay.
Tokaido Shinkansen. So you start in Tokyo, you work your way down, you pass Yokohama, Yokosuka as well. You've got Mount Fuji, which I'd absolutely love to see en route as well. But then the next big city after that, I'd say would likely be Nagoya. Nagoya, and then you've got like a national park in between Nagoya and Kyoto, Suzuka Quasi National Park, and then finally, I think the last destination would be Osaka, which is just further down. But in terms of food, Mudge, apparently Osaka's the best for that. It's called Japan's Kitchen.
Okay.
So you've got Dotonbori food.
Yeah.
Did you know what that is?
No, I've not heard of that. No.
Dotonbori, so I'd have to look that up. Nightlife, probably more so for me. And then you've got, talking to theme parks, you've got Universal Studios there.
Okay, interesting.
So that's there. But I think there's just so much to do, isn't there, really? I think you'd have to have a good, I think 2 weeks there to do it justice.
Yeah, this is the other thing as well about going there. Which city do you actually go to? Because there's so many cities, and again, I've seen 1 or 2 people go to like non-touristy cities just to visit there, and it's a completely different atmosphere and feeling as well. So
yeah,
first things first, which city are you going to? But what you just mentioned right there, going to different destinations, I think that would be a more of a safer bet. You know, a couple of days in Osaka, a couple of days in Tokyo, a couple of days here. You know what I mean? Traveling quite easily and just exploring and taking in the culture and just how they do things different to us. You know, it really does appeal to me.
Yeah, and even like just the nature as well, like cherry blossom trees. And
Yes.
For me, tea houses, I know you unless they've got some biscuits for you, mate. I know you're not going to be too.
I'm sure I'll live, mate. I'm sure I'll live. I'll give it a go. I'm always up for trying new shit.
Smuggle in. So is it malted milk you like, isn't it?
Yeah, with coffee. No, malted milk with coffee. With tea, it has to be Ritz.
I can just imagine a bloke like looking at you now, like, what's he doing? Like,
I'll get my custard creams out of my bag. Here we go. Let's dip it into the Japanese tea. Yeah, why not? No, it's definitely one. Yeah, obviously that I would love to do over the next couple of years if I can. And I know we discussed going to like Mexico next year, which will hopefully get over the line once I'm back at work. But yeah, Tokyo, Japan in general, got to be one that's got to be on the list, man, for sure. Yeah. Okay, so Tom, what was one of your second ones?
Mongolia.
Mongolia, that was it. Yeah, why Mongolia?
I'm guessing what's their names? The Grand Tour. So that car show that was done by Jeremy Clarkson. Funny enough, I'm watching Who Wants to Be a Millionaire on the background at the moment, and he's the host of it.
Cool, you still watch National TV?
Man, it's looking for the channel. It's the only thing that's actually on. There's even like the fucking Milan Derby on tonight, and I can't actually watch it because it's on.
You got the groundbreaking multi-screen on, have you?
No, but I ain't got. I know that you
new concepts.
Have that, don't you?
Yeah.
You've used that before. Yeah, they did so Jeremy Clarkson, James May, and Richard Hammond, they did an episode of the Grand Tour before it signed off for good.
Cool, he's having problems today, isn't he?
Bit latency.
Yeah, sorry.
Tommy, sort out your network, will you, mate? You're working.
Yeah, my Wi-Fi shit. Well, then how about I just pop off? I don't mind. My Wi-Fi's been playing up all day, so there's no point in even trying. It feels like
reboot your router.
Yeah, no one else is allowed to use the internet either. Netflix, that's off limits.
Tell them all off.
But anyway, I'll probably just do this one and pop off as my Wi-Fi's been crap. But yeah, they were literally dropped off in the middle of the country. They had to make a car from scratch. They were given the engine. They were given. They may have been given a car, but then the engine they had to build from scratch. And then once they made it, which they did, so like a little bit of a spoiler alert, but They had to then drive to the capital, which is Simon. What's the capital of Mongolia?
I should know this as well. It's such a random country as well. Go
It's
on.
something.
Do you know the answer?
Hunter? Something. It begins with a U. I'm almost certain. I can't remember the exact fucking name. Go on, Nudge. What is it?
Hold up. Mongolia capital. It is.
Ulaanbaatar.
That's it.
Ulaanbaatar. That's the one.
Ulaanbaatar. Genghis Khan Square, apparently.
Yeah, Genghis Khan. That was his neck of the woods. That was his country. But yeah, it's just the country is so sparse in general. Like a lot of it is untouched almost. There's so many peaks and valleys, and there's so many nomads there who literally roam the land. It's a different way of living. I mean, I know it's complete chalk and cheese to Chongqing because it's not obviously a massive tower, massive buildings, so on and so forth, but just something different, you know, just like I do like my holidays to have like a little bit of adventure. I do like to backpack way back in the day. So it just seemed cool. And it seemed like a place where you don't have to really spend a lot of money either. So yeah, I thought I'd add that to the list.
Interesting. McSweeney, talk about Canada with us.
Yeah, so this has been something on my radar for many years actually, because when I was younger, it was like I think we had some Canadian people that came over to the UK in my class at school, and it just intrigued me from looking at stuff on TV, movies and stuff. One of my mates actually from skiing, Jason, lives out in Calgary, in the state of Alberta. So I say he lives out in Calgary. He's probably like about a 2 or 3 hour drive, at least from the nearest airport. So he's out in the wilderness a bit, but yeah, he's been really selling it to me. I've been thinking about the Rockies down the years, because the Rockies, I don't know if you guys know the extent of the Rockies, but it stretches from parts of Canada and Western Canada down to Albuquerque in New Mexico, so right down the states as well.
Okay.
So it's far reaching, but in terms of Rockies, you've got the beautiful landscapes. You've got the opportunities to do things like kayaking, which you mentioned to me as well. You've got Niagara Falls, which is kind of nearer to the central part of Canada, which again overlaps with parts of New York as well, state of New York, like Buffalo, going through to Ontario. But I think naturally, because Jason lives in Alberta, I would go to Alberta. He said about coming in the summer. In terms of watching ice hockey, I think he said, because I'd love to see an ice hockey game. I've seen a couple of ice hockey games here, but obviously that's amateur stuff compared to what they have over there. So
yeah,
it'd be amazing to get to like a Stanley Cup game, something like that. And he was saying that would be between autumn or fall, as he calls it, fall, to spring. So it would be that type of that part of the calendar. But in some ways, I'd rather go in the summer, because it's just going to be freezing cold in Canada. I mean, the temperatures I've been to here and places like Austria and Poland and Norway have been like probably outside -20, but that's nothing compared to the temperatures over there. So
yeah, true.
I'm just thinking of the sort of the practicalities of going at a time where it's really cold. Bigfoot as well. Bigfoot's meant to be knocking about. Maurice, is he up in Canada somewhere?
Probably, yeah. That's why he's never around.
I'm like one of the people that can lay clay. That's why he's never around. He's in a cave somewhere in the prairies, yeah.
Hidden away, yeah.
So I'd like to be the person that tries to lay claim to spotting Bigfoot and actually getting a live video rather than some spurious picture of him from like 70s or something.
So you got Canada's obviously famous for ice hockey. Is definitely one that always springs out. I mean, are they really into any other major sports? I can't.
They've got Rojos as well. Rojos is like more of a cultural, I guess, North American thing.
Yeah.
It's other than that, it's because I mean, even like football, soccer, he doesn't really watch soccer. Although I did show him, we went to a Canadian bar in Covent Garden called Maple Leaf. which I quite like, and Matt likes it as well. And it was Aston Villa versus PSG, yeah. And we ordered poutine, sorry, poutine, not poutine. Poutine's the Irish alcoholic drink. And he was absolutely slating it, but he actually quite enjoyed the game, football.
Okay,
So
yeah.
trying to get him into football a bit more, soccer. But yeah, you're quite right. Other than that, I mean, wrestling, they're being so wrestling, not a sport, but
And loads of famous Canadian wrestlers, obviously.
yeah,
I think it's
Calgary,
yeah.
Bret Hitman Hart, and a few other people, Jericho, Benoit, dare I say his name?
Kenny Omega, of course, my
Yeah.
favorite of all time. Kenny, yeah, there's loads actually when you think about it, but I think Canada's more about the for me when I think Canada, it's like nature. It's more sort of not as of course you got your city areas, but to me it's more mountains, more nature. This is what would appeal to me more. I'd want to go out, of the
Toronto, CN
yeah.
Tower, that sort of stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, I'd want to go outside of the city. I want to explore in and around, go on a drive and stuff. That is what would obviously.
Because
be the main thing.
I've done whitewater rafting in Croatia, which I think I told you guys about on the previous podcast. But stuff like that, I absolutely love doing. I used to hate kayaking actually at school, but I think somewhere a bit more scenic.
Yeah,
it'd be
for
absolutely
sure.
beautiful.
Oh, of course, you've got the Niagara Falls as well.
Yeah.
Well, I know it's sort of close to America as well. They got half and half, don't they, or something like that? I don't know off the top of my head.
Yeah, there's two cities. There's twin cities. In one in Ontario, which is where Toronto is, the state of Ontario, and the other's in the state of New York, which, as I said earlier, it stretches way out beyond where you think it does.
Yeah, and of course, when it comes to Canada, you've got the heavy French side as well. Montreal, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that will be interesting. You can sort of experience a mixture of the two cultures as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, that will definitely be appealing. Okay, so for me, what did I choose as my second one? I chose Pakistan. Now, I know you'd think to yourself, Pakistan, why the hell would you want to go there? So, obviously being Asian myself and having gone Bangladesh a few times, having gone to India once. Again, this is more linked off the online vlogs and stuff I see of people visiting Pakistan, and the number one thing which they more or less every single one of them comment on is the hospitality. And how kind and polite the people are in Pakistan. I know, obviously, naturally know quite a few Pakistanis from work and just in general from growing up in London. And yeah, and there's some really scenic places up in northern Pakistan as well. You're talking about there was a place, I think it's called Hunza. Like the water is like crystal clear blue. It's really nice. It's mountainy area. Or if you go into the major cities, Lahore, Karachi, Islamabad, I know of the cities from cricket, obviously, because when I used to grow up and watch the cricket, obviously, a lot of Pakistan is the number one sport is cricket itself. So just to visit different cities, maybe do like a little tour and go up north and see the more touristy scenic areas as well. Of course, I'm going to enjoy the food, but I think for me, just the hospitality, and of course, it will also be cheap holiday in terms of expenses, because it's not going to be an expensive country. So it just really appeals to me, and I'd love to go there. And the thing is, when it comes to Bangladesh, like obviously because I've got all my mom's family are there, I wouldn't. I've mentioned this to my other mate who's Bengali. I wouldn't want to go back to Bangladesh and sort of go for the family aspect, because all you're going to get is, oh, give me money, oh, I need money, and you're expected to give money. So I sort of mentioned to him, I'd like to go as a tourist or as a visitor where I don't know anyone, so I can just go and be a tourist and just enjoy it. And obviously I've been to Bangladesh already, so I probably don't have any interest in going back there again. But I would like to do that, a similar situation with Pakistan, where I go there as a fully fledged tourist and just enjoy, explore. Yeah, I don't obviously speak the language, but I will understand what they're saying because it is quite similar. And yeah, I just explore and enjoy myself. So again, it's one on the list which I want to do. But ideally, I would like to go with someone who's Pakistani. I might get away with it. They might assume I'm Pakistani, obviously because of my skin color.
Oh
But
yeah.
I would
Well, happened in
love to
Marrakesh,
go.
didn't it?
Well, yeah, a few times, yeah. But I would like to go there with someone who is already Pakistani, so obviously they know the language and they know the ins and outs, and it's just be a little bit easier to communicate. Basically, is the main thing. But to be honest, a majority of the Pakistanis, especially the younger generation, they do speak pretty decent English. It's like the second main language, so I'm sure it'll be all right. But yeah, for me, Pakistan is definitely
Do,
my
do they?
second option.
Is it mainly Urdu? Because what my mate from
Yeah.
school, Mustafa, he spoke Urdu, but
They
I don't
have
know if there's any
different
other language.
dialects. They have different dialects. They have it's similar to it's not similar to the UK where you got fucking someone speaking Scouse or whatever or Scottish and the accent's completely you can completely butcher the accent or not understand it. I think I'd class it similar to English and Welsh, maybe more along those lines. But there's different areas and different cities and they speak their own dialect. It's similar to Bengali. Like I'm from Sylhet, right? So I speak a different type of Bengali than what the others outside of Sylhet do. So if you go to Dhaka, for example, they speak the more we used to call it growing up the posher version, and we used to talk the slang version. But growing up again, we used to associate those people who spoke the posh version as freshies, because the majority of my lot, Sylhetis who grew up in London, they were all from Sylhet. But now you're getting more and more families, obviously coming from different areas who are in London. So yeah, similar to that. So like some of my daughter's friends, they obviously don't speak Sylheti. They're from another part of Bangladesh. So I do understand bits of what they're saying, but I wouldn't have a clue. Like I couldn't have a conversation with them in Bengali. You know what I mean? So I think it's similar in Pakistan and even in India, for example. They speak different dialects and different types um, of the language itself. So yeah, no, but either way, they all do know Urdu as a base. I'd like to think so. It should be all right.
I was going to ask actually, in terms of national security at the moment, there, what's it like? I mean, it's probably not great, is it, at the minute?
Well, to be honest, like right now, from what I've seen, obviously from the vlogs and stuff, you never see all the negative stuff. Everyone says, "Oh, the media." Obviously, the media hate Pakistan. They want to put them as terrorist country, oh it's dangerous, oh you shouldn't go there, blah blah blah. Again, you see all the people making the vlogs, no filter, no bullshit, and they cannot comment on how hospitable and how safe and how friendly people are.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go off that rather than what the fucking media tell me. Do you get what I mean? Because they're
Oh
all
yeah,
complete
yeah.
scumbags.
Total
um,
bias. Yeah.
so in terms of security, like I am not worried about anything regarding safety. If I was to go Pakistan, let's just put it that way. The only issue would obviously be again for me language. But again, most of them do speak basic English. Um, yeah, again in terms of security, I wouldn't really worry about anything else. Being brown, obviously already, but again, all these vloggers and stuff, they're mainly white. Is the videos I watch online, so they never have an issue. And majority of the people who do the vlogs, if they comment about something negative, is normally from fucking India, not even Pakistan. So
Oh right, yeah.
yeah, there's one guy on YouTube and he hates India. Like he absolutely despises it. And he went to Pakistan and he was like taking a piss how much better it was and stuff. And he had loads of haters threatening him and also never come back to India and all this shit. So no, I wouldn't worry about anything like that if I was to go to Pakistan. The political situation, however, is a bit of a dodgy one, because I think the current government or the people running the country, I think it's a mixture of military as well. They're pro-West, so they sort of pushing an agenda of basically licking the West's arse. Do you know the famous cricketer Imran Khan, Pakistani cricketer? You might have heard of him.
Yeah. But did he marry someone that? Oh, I think
Yeah,
someone else.
Gemma, someone. It was an English bird. Yeah, didn't
Yeah.
last long from what I remember. Jemima, I think it might be Jemima something. Fucking hell, yeah. I don't even know how that came into my head.
Yeah.
So basically, obviously he's loved by the whole country because he's the only World Cup winning captain. He was a bit of a personality. I think he studied in the UK as well, as good English. He became prime minister of Pakistan, and
Oh right.
he was proper like, okay, I'm not fighting against certain things which Pakistanis weren't happy about. He was basically for the people, and anti-West. That he wasn't. He didn't want to kiss the West ass too much. So um, certain people weren't happy in and around the world. So they ousted him as the prime minister, and now he's locked up in jail. I think he is still in jail, including his wife, I think it was at the time. So a lot of people are pissed off about that because they love him and they know he's for the people. But the current people who are running the country right now, I think, like I said, it's a mixture of the opposition party and military. And just from speaking to some other people who I know Pakistani, that they know about the injustice against Imran Khan and stuff. So that's the only thing I guess in the country that obviously is a bit, hit and miss. But again, I'm a tourist. If I was to go there, that wouldn't bother me. I don't know. Again, the full details of the political situation. And as you know, I couldn't give a flying fuck about politics in most occasions. But yeah, we hopefully again that's one I can hit within. I'd like to think 5 to 10 years. I think that's doable. I'll definitely go there.
Yeah, no, it's funny you mentioned Pakistan because I was literally thinking the other day with Inzamam ul Haq.
Yeah.
And
the infamous cricketer.
He was captain as well, wasn't he? And
yeah, he was. Yeah.
Shoaib Akhtar had the fastest bowl,
yes.
didn't he?
Brilliant bowler. Yeah. Oh, those were the days of cricket, man. Those were the days of the Pakistani cricket team being world class. For right now, the team right now is absolute fucking pony. Like I was watching them in the World Cup recently, and again, absolute pony. It's a shame just how far they've fallen from the heights which they once had. So yeah, it's a shame, mate. But yeah, I would love to go there one day. Tom, what was your third option? I already forgot.
Mine was Australia, but then to be honest, you also mentioned New Zealand, so I could happily pick between Australia and New Zealand.
Yeah, let's discuss Australia first. I mean, I think I've mentioned again in previous podcasts, I'd love to go to Australia purely to see our old colleague and buddy, Mr. Medway, who does listen to the podcast. So hello, Medway, if you're listening. Obviously, he lives in Sydney, I believe. I know you went to Melbourne. Was it last year, McSweeney? It was early last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, start of last year. Yeah.
So you've obviously already been there, but yeah, I would like to go. Again, it's a big on their sport, big on a lot of touristy places. Turn your TV off with your Maloney. I can't even hear myself. So yeah, I would like to go there. One main reason is obviously to see him, and yeah, just to explore the country. But the reason I chose New Zealand in particular, I'm sure you've seen the scenic pictures and the mountains and the I don't know even how to describe it. The seas, the lakes, all the nature side of it. It's more of a greenery sort of place. When I think Australia, I think more of a city. Of course, there's other places. I know that, but there's something about New Zealand which just appeals to me. So yeah, I'll definitely love to visit New Zealand for sure. Tommy, Australia.
Yeah, so very similar. They're very big into their sports, but they like their cricket, they like their rugby, both concepts of it. They like their football or soccer.
Never
They like their
soccer.
Aussie rules, mate. AFL.
Aussie rules as
Yeah.
well. Yeah,
That's their biggest sport. Aussie rules is their biggest sport in their country.
Yeah, and then they've also got, who was the really famous swimmer? Was it Phelps?
No. Ian Thorpe.
Thorpe, that's the one. Yeah, I knew it was either him or the other one. The culture itself, they're always up for a laugh. Like, they're always up for banter. They call each other the C word. I won't say the word just in case we get any sponsors.
No, it's fine. Cunt. Yeah, cunt. They call each other cunt.
Cunt. Okay, cunt. It's very much like the UK, I would imagine as well, where you got different areas and different cultures and different friendliness towards other people and tourists and so on and so forth. Anywhere in Australia would do me fine. Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne, Adelaide. You can stick me in the middle if you want as well. I'll be more than happy with that. It just seems completely different, and it's on the other side of the world. Really cool place. They love to drink as well, which I obviously won't say no to. I mean, I fully appreciate a beer after a Friday and all that jazz. The only fear would be is not. Well, yeah, no, I will say fear. The only fear would be everything is bigger out there. So fucking spiders, I am shit scared of, and I've seen pictures of the size of the bastards out there, and they scared me
Mate,
shitless.
I did not see one. I'm telling you now, I did not see one. I stayed out in
Really.
I stayed out in the sticks as well, in
Fine.
the other side of Melbourne, a place called Forest, with two
Mm.
R's. And I think at that point I was like, I'm guaranteed to see some like scary massive spider at some point in the property or somewhere. I didn't.
Mm. It's just the one thing that puts me off. Is that even though you don't see it, there's the potential to see it. And then if you let your guard down by not seeing one for the first 2 or 3 days, thinking, sweet, like I'm not going to see anything, and then all of a sudden, bang, when you're going to the toilet in the middle of the night, the last thing you fucking want to see.
I mean, come on. But
Snakes.
on that note, Tom, before I'm gonna butt in, sorry. On that note, like people, I hear this a lot of people obviously saying, "Oh, the creepy crawlies, oh, the snakes, and all this stuff." But bear in mind, you're a tourist. You're probably gonna be staying in a hotel anyway. I mean, you're not gonna even get that. You know what I mean? But a lot of people comment on it, and it kind of does annoy me sometimes because it's like even you just mentioned, Maxine, you went there, you didn't see a single spider. You
No.
got more chance of getting bitten by a snake probably out of your garden or a spider in your in the UK than you probably would when you go to Australia because of the environment you're probably going to be staying in. Like I'm assuming it's going to be a hotel or somewhere posh anyway. So yeah, and you're going to mainly be in the city unless you do venture out. Obviously, yeah, there's always a chance you might see something. You got more chance of seeing a kangaroo that wants to beat you up than you will.
Oh, they're proper like on it. Yeah, they'll
Yeah,
literally like stare at you, and they'll be like have like a very
sizing you
orderly,
up.
yeah, but like an orderly sort of circle of their family in the background,
Yeah.
and they don't take your eyes off you until you walk away. And there's even random things like echidnas as well, like the sort of hedgehog things, the big hedgehogs I was telling you about.
Mm.
But they keep themselves a lot of these
Yeah,
animals.
yeah.
They don't start coming after you, and they're probably more scared of you than you are them, really.
Yeah, sorry, Tom. You carry on, but yeah, don't be worried, mate. I'm sure a little itty bitty spider won't hurt you, mate. Don't worry.
No, spiders are spiders. Fuck you. Kangaroos fighting in the middle of the streets as well would be hilarious to see.
Fucking
I
hell.
would love to see that. And it's because they deal with kangaroos constantly. There is that video that came out a while back, I think, of a kangaroo who had an owner's dog in a headlock.
Yeah, I
And
remember
then
that. Yeah.
the bloke went up to him with like the typical Australian fucking attire, like a backward cap, and then a shirt that was like open, and then he was wearing shorts and all sorts. And then he went up to the kangaroo and then he punched it. That's the kind of attitude. That's the kind of culture that you're having to deal with, and I would absolutely love it. Another thing that puts me off is the flights. It's so long, and and I imagine it's pretty expensive. Simon,
What was that? Sorry.
is it pretty expensive to fly out there?
So I booked about 6 months in advance, and it was just over $1,000.
Mm.
Yeah, so it was
It's not
kind
bad.
of about. It's kind of about par, isn't it? Because even with South Korea, we booked it probably about what
Over
maybe a
$1,000.
year in advance.
Yeah, over $1,000. Yeah, still it's pretty expensive. But I was expecting it to be close to $2,000 if I'm honest with you. But $1,000 isn't too bad because it's how long was the flight? About what, 20 hours or
Well,
something?
it's meant to be 22 hours, but I ended
Mm.
up. So I was meant to go via Doha and then Doha to Melbourne, but I ended up missing my connecting flight in Doha, having to then stay overnight in Doha then for a few hours, and then going to Hong Kong, then Hong Kong to Melbourne. So
Or you got connecting flights. That's probably why it was a little bit tiny bit cheaper because normally they are a bit cheaper. But yeah, if you're flying direct with, I reckon you're looking at about $1.5 grand, maybe close to $2,000 probably.
I think the only place you can go to directly is the one to Perth in the West Coast.
Okay, of course, yeah. You're gonna have to get a transfer on it because it's so fucking far away. Of course, yeah, true.
So that would be your. I don't even know how much that would cost really, like Perth, and then if it's called a kangaroo thing where you basically bounce off Perth then to Melbourne. Yeah, that's what they call it. Kangaroo trail.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I mean, even for South Korea, that was over $1,000. Plus, we got fancy seats, so it cost us 150 quid more or something, whatever it was. So yeah, even that I thought was pretty pricey. But Tom, either way, like I think it's one like the New Zealand / Australia. It's one you got to tick off your bucket list. You sort of feel right, you know. And commenting on something that you mentioned before, I think the Aussies are the most similar in terms of Brits without being Brits. You know,
Mm.
like you mentioned, the banter, the drinking, the love of sports, just in general. You know, I feel like they're the most similar to us than anyone else in the world, English speaking, so
They
to
get the
speak.
humour as well, don't they?
Yeah. They're
Yeah.
great with the humor. Yeah.
Mm. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. But that's it for me.
Cool.
Unfortunately.
McSweeney, did you have one left?
I did. Did you? Shall I go ahead of you and you can finish up, or?
Yeah, well, we more or less discussed New Zealand and Australia together. So yeah, you're the last one, mate. You got
I'm
your
last
last
one.
one.
Okay,
Go
well,
for it.
finish with a flourish. So yeah, Brazil.
Of course, Brazil. Yes.
Yes. So I have a bit of history with Brazilian people, whether it be previous partners or friends or people I've just known from different walks of life. And of course, your friends at the dinner recently.
Yes, she's actually in Brazil right now. I think I might have mentioned to you.
Yes, yeah. So the attraction to me for Brazil, many things really. Football's the forefront of it. Maracanã in Rio. If I was to pick out a city to go to, and actually your friend, sorry, reminds me what your friend was called again, or
So you had Cincha and you had Paula.
Cincha, yeah, Paula, Paula, that's it, Paula. She said, I think they both, Cincha and Paula, said go to Rio. And of course, the capital of Brazil is anyone know?
Brasilia.
Yeah, he's got it. It's got it. Because again, it's so easy for people to think that even go out to Canada, it's Ottawa, and people say, "Oh, is it Toronto
Yes.
or Australia?" People thinking it might be Sydney, but it's Canberra. But
yes,
so they were saying about going to Rio, and I thought, okay, that's a fairly obvious answer, but actually, that they know better than I do. You've got Christ the Redeemer there. You've got Sugarloaf Mountain. You've got Copacabana Beach. Maracanã, as I said a minute ago, which used to host up to 200,000 people, which is absolutely mind blowing.
Yeah, crazy.
Back in probably World Cup in whatever year it was when they had it. I think it's in 19. Was it
Was it 30s or was that Uruguay?
That was Uruguay, but I know Pele's first World Cup was 58, and that was in Sweden. Chile was 62, England 66, 70 was Mexico. I think is anyone off the top of the head? I think was it 1954? That was it. Yeah. No, hold on. I think it was 1954 and 2014, wasn't it? Because 2014 was when they got hammered by Germany.
Yes.
7-1. And I think that was their biggest defeat. Or it might have been 1950. They said that was like the worst defeat since they lost to Uruguay. I think in 1950, actually. And everyone was like, obviously, beside themselves, like completely in mourning after that. But just the whole culture around that. Samba, I quite like Brazilian music as well, actually. Funny enough, I've listened to a fair bit of Brazilian music from people I know. Carnival, I guess people have said, oh yeah, Carnival is something would be good to go around that sort of time. Would it be a bit too busy for my liking? I don't know, possibly. But yeah, and then there's also Florianopolis as well, which is meant to be good for nightlife. You've got Santa Catarina, which is an island just off the southeast coast, near to Sao Paulo, I think. So there's many different places that come to mind. You've got Amazon rainforest up in the north, but again, that might be a bit sketchy going there. If you're talking about creepy crawlies, I mean, you've got other characters to deal with up there. So yeah, there's so much to talk about. I think again, going with someone that knows the ropes, knows the places not to go to, because I've heard about the favelas and shanty towns and other parts of it, which again are pretty sketchy as fuck. So
yeah, this is what I was going to ask you. Like, if you were to go there, like, would you actually go on like without someone who is Brazilian, or would you be would you be brave enough to do that, or would you rather go like with someone that you know? Like for me, because I wouldn't want to go to anywhere in South America unless I'm going with someone who's already from there or who knows the language at the very least, you know.
So for me, I think I mentioned it recently. I was looking at like safety of South American countries. Apparently, Uruguay and Argentina are the safest, or two of the
Okay.
safest,
Yeah.
further down the south. Bearing in mind, I do speak some Spanish, enough to probably get by. Although to be fair, it's probably more Spanish than South American Spanish, because I learned from a Spanish teacher at school from Spain, pronouncing my C's like "f" rather than "sir." So certain things I probably have to try and change my way of speaking. But I think, yeah, again, because it's Portuguese in Brazil, I think I would be a bit lost without going with someone. And yeah, I'd probably be more likely to take a gamble on going to the Spanish-speaking countries down the south on my own, more than I would do with Brazil, which is obviously a different language, and it's a lot more vast as well, isn't it, in terms of the size? So
Yeah, for
yeah,
sure. Like like I said, for me, I think if I was to go Brazil, like I said, if someone else who I know who's already in Brazil or who is Brazilian, I'd happily like tag along with them just to go, rather than going off my own back, just for that extra bit of peace of mind.
yeah.
So yeah, I think I'll definitely go.
I mean, so I was going to say, I heard about a guy that went out to Colombia.
Mm,
I think he went to Medellin or somewhere.
okay,
And
yeah.
I do actually know two of my mates from school, actually half Colombian, and they've been to Medellin and
Mm,
Bogota and those places. But this guy, he was like a friend of a friend's, and he got literally mugged within a few hours of being there, like
oh
knife
damn.
point.
Mm,
So, but again, he's a sort of character that probably is a bit of a target. You know, he's quite sort of lively and bubbly and a bit kind of bit high practice, shall we say?
yeah.
A bit
No,
like the bloke in the cinema at the time.
yeah. No comment. No. Yeah.
Uh, yeah,
Our mate, well, my mate that I'm gonna go when we go Paris to meet Letitia, who I told you about. I remember
yeah,
telling me a story when she went to Rio, I think it was many years ago, and I think her card or something stopped working because someone pissed about and tried stealing money from her at a card machine, or something dodgy happened. So that's my only like in my head that sticks out when I think of other people I know going to Brazil as tourists. But again, it was just bad luck, you know what I mean? So again, going back to original point, for me, if I ever did go anywhere like that, I'd want to go with someone who speaks the language at the very least, or is a local. So yeah, hopefully that'll be the case if and when I do eventually head out there.
I think that it's probably similar to like going to say someone like South Africa.
Oh
I
yeah, South Africa, fucking hell, I've heard all sorts of shit about that. But yeah,
Yeah,
again, would want to
that
go
might
with
be
someone
worse,
local.
but again, I hear in certain parts of like Johannesburg, you
Mm,
basically get cabs everywhere. You don't mess about.
yeah,
Again, it's about doing all the streetwise stuff, but then
yeah,
I don't know if I'd get cabs everywhere in Brazil, but yeah, it's knowing, having that person to say, yeah, this is what you should and shouldn't do,
yeah,
and yeah,
exactly.
it's easy to kind of, because you know what I'm like after I've had a few drinks. If
Nah.
anyone's had a few drinks, you do let your guard down, and you're enjoying yourself, and yeah, the last thing you need is to go and get robbed on holiday or experience something like that. But I'm
Yeah,
sure there's the sides to it which are beautiful and supersede that. But yeah,
I think also what would help is having a big group. Like, let's say if it's just a few of you, like two or three, yeah, fair enough. It's going to be a little bit more iffy at times. If you've got like a big group of you, even like 10 or 7 to 10, I think that would be obviously a little bit better. You've got a little group with you, but you just naturally feel a bit safer. But still, shit will happen everywhere. You got more
oh
chance of
yeah,
having something happen in fucking London than you would probably in some of these places. So it's
yeah.
always hard to say. Just gonna have to experience it one day and find out for ourselves, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I think even your choice of New Zealand, I think that's probably going to be one of the safest places.
Oh yeah, that definitely. I wouldn't worry about anything before going beforehand. But again, shit happens everywhere. You never know.
Yeah, yeah.
It's no point dwelling on it in advance. That's
Nah,
the main thing, I guess.
yeah.
Cool. So that is that. Out of all the destinations we've mentioned, um, for me, my number one obviously would be Japan to want to visit, and I do really hope I can do that one within the next couple of years. Out of yours, which one would you say would be the most realistic for you to achieve to visit first?
Tom, do you want to go?
Australia probably for me. What about you?
I'm going to say Canada, simply because I've already said to my mate, yeah, it's going to be within the next year or two. So I think naturally Canada would be the one potentially next year in the summer.
Nice. All right, guys, that's another one in the books. See you again in a week or two.
All right.
Both-
Cheers. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.